I have anxiety, what? And I was like, what is this? Am I just adding more to my shopping cart? Welcome to our first episode of
Smiling while struggling.
This is a podcast where we talk all mental health related, and it's me and my best friend,
Faith Spinell.
and Sandra Mawad. We'll tell you guys a little bit about ourselves briefly. We've been friends for 7 years, and we met in high school. What was your first impression of me, Faith?
I thought you had no anxiety. When I saw you, you were like very talkative. It didn't seem like you were afraid to talk to anyone. So I was like, damn, like I wish I was like that. So you just seemed like very outgoing and bubbly. Mm-hmm. And it looked like anxiety was not something that you dealt with. So I was jealous of that.
I love that. And my first impression was you actually was like, you're very smart and very put together. Like everything you've done, you do everything perfectly. And you had like really good grades. So I was like, low key, I want to be as smart as her. And I was always like asking her for help because like back in the day, my English was like not the best and people would laugh at me, but she would like help me and like, teach me stuff. So thank you, Faith.
You're welcome, Sandra.
Thank you. So we're going to start with why we started the podcast. We started the podcast because we deal with our own mental health struggles, and we just wanted to bring more awareness to it, more research, and just like tell you our personal experiences because there's no shame in it. So what do you struggle with, Faith?
Well, I struggle with so many different things, but mainly like it would be anxiety and OCD. Those are like the things that are the main kind of struggles for me.
And how long have you been struggling with those things?
Literally, I know everyone says like, oh, as long as I can remember, but it literally has been like forever. But I've like learned different coping strategies and stuff, which like I'm hoping to share. And yeah, I mean, it's been forever.
So personally, I struggle with ADHD and anxiety, and I didn't know until recently. So how was your process reaching out for the first time, Faith?
Yeah, so reaching out is what we're going to be talking about in the first episode. Yeah, so my process, only like high school when I actually reached out and I got help, so grade 9. I believe I was like 14 or something. And I went to the child and youth worker and I was like, hey, babe, like, there's something off. There's some screws loose up here. And I just opened up to her about how like I have social anxiety, and I just told her like it's very overwhelming. It's very like kind of depressing how like anxious I feel whenever I'm around people in class, in the food court. Oh my gosh, that was like the worst place ever. It was the worst because there's just so many people. And then like, I have a thing of like eating in front of people, which like it was just like, anxiety just was through the roof every time I was in the food court. But I went to her during my lunch break and I was like, I think I need help with managing all these emotions because it's just become too much for me. And she was the one who kind of like spoke to me about anxiety for the first time and helped me navigate like resources and just like understanding that about myself.
Yeah, definitely. And how about your OCD?
So that's kind of like a little bonus thing that I figured out. Because I was going to a psychiatrist for social anxiety, and then that was something that during the pandemic, like now that I know what OCD is and the symptoms, like I know I've had it for like almost my whole life, but during lockdown it was able to develop and flourish into this wonderful, awful thing where it just became like a huge, overwhelming thing to deal with. And then during the lockdown was when I also had my appointment with a psychiatrist for the first time. And I told him, like, yeah, the anxiety, the social anxiety, it's pretty much gone. That's what I thought at the time. Because I was at home all the time. So I was like, this is the best thing ever, you know, like, I don't have to go out. I don't have to see people. I can do my school online. I don't have to worry about how I look or how other people perceive me. But then the OCD was able to kind of take the center stage and just like gradually get worse. So I told my psychiatrist like my social anxiety. I did get diagnosed with it, but it was much better at the time. And then OCD, like once I started describing what I was experiencing and like the struggles, he diagnosed me. And that was when I found out. So I was like maybe like 15 or 16 when I found out. So yeah, we've had her for a long time.
That's interesting. Yeah. For me, ADHD, I always thought something was wrong. Like my work would take so long to be completed. I would zone out a lot. I would be like hyper fixated on different things. But because I have the combined kind of ADHD, so I could either be focused on something for a long time or I could like completely like zone out. So I always thought there was something wrong with me. I thought I wasn't intelligent, but it just turned out I have ADHD and there's nothing wrong with that. I always would say to my dad like something's wrong. Like I don't know what it is. Up until I went to college because during lockdown it was a lot of online school. I was doing two things at the same time, like working and school online, so it was bearable, it was fine. But then after that I went into college and that's when I decided, you know, something needs to be checked out to the doctor's office, outside of my family doctor, because I was always ashamed to go to my family doctor because he's Egyptian just like me. So I was like, oh no, like he's gonna think I'm crazy, which is wrong. I don't think your doctor would think you're crazy, but I just always felt shame to go to my doctor. So at school it was easier to go to a doctor, and then I went to a psychiatrist, and then after that I was at the like psychiatrist appointment, and she was like, Miss Sandra, you also have anxiety. And I was like, I have anxiety? What? And I was like, what is this? Am I just adding more to my shopping cart? Because I do struggle with depression too. So I'm like, oh, anxiety, depression, and ADHD. Yikes, you know? But that's totally fine. Getting therapy for it and just kind of managing it. But yeah, I never knew I had anxiety. I would always get like nauseous in the morning or like right before I have to do something and things like that, but I wouldn't express it out loud, so I didn't want to like implement it in my head. You know that thing that when they say like, if you think about how much your knee hurts, it's gonna hurt more, so try not to think about it. That saying I would always hear from my parents. So I always thought like, oh, just forget about it and you will be fine. I have general anxiety, so it's bearable, but it's hard at times.
Yeah.
So that's why maybe you didn't notice it, because
yeah, I was dealing with a different kind. So when I saw you like socializing, I was like, I didn't even think that there was like, I didn't think about the possibility of you having a different kind of anxiety. I just saw you and I'm like, she can talk to people, so she's good, you know. But there's so many more different like forms that anxiety can take, and we just have different ones.
Literally. And honestly, I never thought she had anxiety at all, because she's also very social. Maybe in high school she was a little bit on the quieter side, but she was friends with the popular people, so I just assumed, you know, she's her, she knows what she's doing. She is her and she knows what she's doing, of course. But like, I never questioned it. And the OCD, I always just thought you're very put together. I remember one time she gave me her chemistry notes. And I just gave it back to her without any care in the world. Like, it was folded up in my bag and I gave it back and she's like, no, thank you, I don't want them back.
Yeah, I told her, I'm like, you can keep them, you can like keep studying with them, it's okay. Because I saw that it was like all like crunched up and I was like, it's not gonna look good in my stack of cue cards.
And I never knew that. I just laughed and I was like, okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So comes to, occurs that like later on in life that she has OCD. I just never knew. And when you told me OCD, and I was like, I don't know what that is.
Literally everyone's reaction, or they have
Mm-hmm.
like some already like some made up kind of thing of what OCD is based on
Mm-hmm.
like how the media portrays it, but usually people don't know what actually. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that goes with most mental illnesses. Like there's some kind of like perception that you get from the media with how it's presented, and then so people don't really know what it's actually like apart from what they see on TV or something like that, which is usually not accurate.
That's fair. I always just thought OCD was like you wanted to clean, you were a clean freak. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
like you
know.
organize your pencils
Yeah.
and like colored like rainbow pencil
Mm-hmm.
crayon organization.
Because that's what it looks like on Pinterest. So I
Literally,
just thought,
that is what it is. That's
yeah.
how they like kind of present it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
So those were like kind of our stories reaching out. And like just in general for anyone who wants to reach out, it is something that is like pretty, I guess, anxiety inducing. There's a lot of like stigma around reaching out, and I know especially with people who have backgrounds where like our parents
Yeah.
um kind of don't really acknowledge maybe like mental health struggles. It can be really hard, but there are a lot of resources, and it's definitely like it's the scariest step, but it's the best step. The best thing you can do for your mental health is like seek out professional help. And yeah, so those were like our stories of when we first spoke to someone, when we first found out about our mental illnesses, and um, like when we first decided to take that step. And I think we can both agree, like I'm so glad I did it. I don't
Me
know
too.
how
Me
where I
too.
would be. Like I don't
Me
know
too.
how I'm already, hanging on, but I'm doing good.
You
And if
are.
I didn't get any help, I don't know where I'd be. So
Fair
it's
enough.
it's scary, but it's so worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have to say, I'm really grateful for Faith because she's like the mental health expert in our group. She knows where to go, who to ask for help. She knows all of it, and she's not ashamed of it. She's not. She's proud to share, and she's happy. She's very like advocate about it, and I'm just so proud of her and so happy that she gets to be a part of my life and help me through this because I was like struggling and calling her and being like, I think I have a problem, and her being, it's okay, you can reach out, and me being like, no. Does that mean like I'm crazy, or does that mean like something's wrong with me? And she's saying like you like it's okay if there's something's wrong.
And I
Yeah.
remember, I do want to add, you
Yeah.
were the first person I told my about my social
Yeah.
anxiety. So I'm very grateful for her too.
Thank you.
It's also very hard, like initially reaching out to a mental health professional, but
Mm-hmm.
also just letting the people around you, your loved ones, also know. Like reaching out to them is a struggle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what will my friends think about me? Will they think I'm crazy? Will they not
Mm-hmm.
want to like associate with me anymore? Like, what will my family think? Will they like just disregard my feelings, or will they be there to support me? So it's very nice to have people around who can support you and just like validate how you're feeling. And you're one of those people. So
You
thank
as
you for
well.
that. And yeah, like reaching out to family and friends is also something that was challenging, but definitely like I wouldn't have like changed anything with the way I've reached out, because I'm really grateful with the people around me, and I know not everyone is lucky like I am to have loving people around, but like it's definitely good to let those around you know so that you can kind of work on that support group.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why we're here. We're here to talk about this coming from different backgrounds. Like Faith is from a Latin background, from an Egyptian background, and both of those cultures kind of see it as a like, oh, this is not something that's like highly spoken of or like spoken about too much. So we just wanted to say that it's okay. If you're struggling, it's completely fine, and you're completely fine. You'll be fine. And if there's something wrong with you, that's okay. There's look for help. And where can we find help? We're here in Canada, for people to know. Where can we find help with?
Um, so there are a lot of resources. Like if you're really struggling, I feel like going to the emergency department of a hospital or CAMH, they do have a clinic where you can do a walk-in. Like if you have nowhere to go. Online there are a lot of resources, and I will like hopefully put links
Yeah, we can.
down so we can get people to get the resources they need.
So yeah, there's a suicide crisis line, and there's like a hotline you can talk to if you're struggling. I'm gonna put it up here on the screen, or if you're listening, it's gonna be somewhere on our Instagram or in the link of our YouTube bio. I disregarded the fact that Faith is also West Indian. So what do West Indians think about mental health?
There is also definitely kind of like a, oh, just like brush it under the rug kind of thing, or like there isn't too much knowledge on it. Like I remember with my parents, there was a lot of educating myself as well as them, which is understandable because they are of an older generation, so that's not something that was spoken about as much. So, yeah, just a lot of like telling them like what anxiety is, why like I was reaching out for help, and just like some of the struggles. So, yeah, like having parents of those backgrounds, and I'm sure Egyptian
Yeah.
background as well. It's a lot of like you need to like you need guidance yourself, and you also need to kind of guide them into like this is what's going on, and this is like mental illness is real.
Yeah.
Mental health is a thing that we should take care of. And yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah, no, they also of religious backgrounds, they could say, "Oh, go to church more or just
pray
pray
more.
more," which prayer is helpful and God is great, but it's also a thing where you should work on. If you're struggling with something, you should definitely work on it. With the help of God's guidance, if you believe in God, and also with the help of taking care of your health, seeking out professionals to help you. There's nothing wrong with getting professionals. It doesn't mean that you're not as strong of faith. That's something I wanted to talk to about for the longest time, because it doesn't mean I'm not faithful to God or I don't have strong faith. It just means that like it's the same thing where someone goes, "Oh, my heart health is not great, so I should do this or that," and go to the doctor. And also pray. It goes hand in
You
hand. It goes
can do
together.
both.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
should do both.
Absolutely, yeah. So, yeah, and we're gonna talk more in the upcoming episodes about where to get help more in detail. A lot of different fun things are gonna come your way. But before we end the podcast, we're gonna say like a myth about mental health each. So, what's your myth about mental health? Let's
So,
debunk those myths.
yeah, so my myth, this one I'm sure like you've heard it at least once or twice before, but I think it should be said that like people believe sometimes reaching out for help, like taking that step means they're weak. It's like because reaching out, it's something very scary. You don't know how people will react. You don't know what, you know, you'll be told, or like just you don't know how to feel about it as well yourself. Like, should I be happy that I'm getting help? This is like scary. What if I hear something I don't want to hear? What if I don't hear what I want to hear? And it kind of like there's just a lot going on when you do reach out. So just like thinking that you're not strong for not reaching out, that's not true. Like if someone reaches out, that does not make them weak. That makes them strong because it takes a lot of courage to reach out, to admit, like, I think I want to work on something within myself. And there's nothing weak about that. So That is a myth.
Another myth that I also thought was actually true was like that you should only go to mental health professionals only if you have a serious mental illness. And how would I know if I have a serious mental illness if I don't go to a professional? Number one. Number two is like every struggle anybody has is serious and should be taken serious. And so we're not like, don't call yourself dramatic, don't call yourself like, I don't know, I called myself crazy and dramatic, and that wasn't the case. Maybe I can be a little crazy. I could be a little fun, but but that's not the case when it comes to my struggles.
Yeah, it's not the case. You're not fun. No.
Yeah, so that could, yeah, it's all about perspective. Everybody has a different perspective of everybody. So if your family or your friends or I don't know who it is, but if they call you crazy and if they say that you're dramatic, maybe there's something going on with them.
They're the problem.
Not
They're
you,
problem,
yes.
not you.
So you should definitely go and talk to someone about your struggles that is a professional. And if you can't talk to a professional, you can talk to someone you trust. And hopefully then you can get the courage to talk to a professional or get the help you need. So, yeah. It's been Sandra Mawat.
And Faith Spinell.
And it's been Smiling While Struggling. Our links are going to be in the description wherever you're watching. Just search up Smiling While Struggling. And don't forget to smile while you struggle.
Yeah.
Smile through it all, baby.
Yeah.
You're so worth it. We love you.